What's up guys, Knicks Daily here back. I know I haven't made a video in like 5 days. I actually just moved into a new apartment. Went from the East Coast to Texas, so it was a long drive, a long trip, but here we are, man, back talking Knicks, of course. If you guys are new to the channel, smash the like button for the algorithm, subscribe if you're new. We got a lot to talk about. So the game yesterday against Toronto, my overall thoughts were that, one, the Knicks starters are playing way too many minutes, and I understand that in order for us to win, they have to due to the lack of bench, especially depth. But at the same time, we're only in January. I mean, what's going to happen come playoff time when these Knicks starters are playing 40 minutes a game? Like, Randall played, what, 43 minutes the first game, and then the second game definitely played over 40 minutes again. So that's just not going to be sustainable for the Knicks, which is something that they need to monitor. They either need to play them less minutes or they need to make some trades and get more depth, which would still result in them playing less minutes. So the second thing is that the officiating was not fair. Something that's been a common occurrence for the Knicks all season is that they don't get the same treatment as other teams. And I'm looking at the Knicks, right, against Toronto. They took 68 two-pointers. That's 16 more than the Raptors. Yet, Toronto, they made more free throws. They took more free throws. The Knicks were called for 28 fouls. So that's 3 more than the Raptors. And that might not seem like a big deal. But Toronto, they turned those opportunities into 41 free throws, which is 6 more than the Knicks. So it doesn't make sense. I understand if the Raptors were being more aggressive, but the Knicks took 16 more two-pointers. And that call, or non-call, when RJ Barrett at the end of the fourth quarter, he drove down and Scotty Barnes hit him, the NBA reviewed that and said it was a good no call. And the reason why they said that was because supposedly, I'll read you guys the quote. So, quote, at that point in time, the refs aren't really going to call a foul. Just got to go up strong. Didn't really matter who's there. End quote. So reacting to that instantly, I mean, so basically what they're saying is that it is a foul, but you can't call that. You don't want the game to end on a free throw. But if you're fouled, right? I feel like if a Knicks player did that, it would have been called an and one, and then the potentially the player could have made the shot. Sorry about that, guys. The player could have made the shot for the Raptors and won the game. So RJ Barrett, he had an incredible game. Seems like that's a common occurrence as well, as RJ has good games and then we aren't able to capitalize on winning the game. Like, RJ went out there and he put up 32 points on 10 of 23 from the field, 2 of 9 from 3, 10 of 11 from the free throw line. You like to see the free throws, but RJ, that 3 ball, they've got to start to drop. I mean, we know RJ Barrett has all-star potential, but in order for that to happen, he's got to be more consistent. And I like to see the aggressiveness. I mean, RJ had a good game, but still, I mean, we know that he's definitely going to have to knock down more of those threes, especially if he's going to take 9 of them. I mean, Jalen Brunson took 6 threes, made 2 of them. Randall was 1 of 6. Thankfully, we have Grimes in the starting lineup because, I mean, Brunson's a good three-point shooter. I wouldn't say he's like elite or anything, but he's definitely good. We know Mitch doesn't stretch the floor. Randall is hit or miss, usually miss. Like, Randall's not a very good three-point shooter. Last season he was, and then RJ, no. So we definitely need some more shooting, which is why you see Emmanuel quickly get a lot of the run at the end of games. But if you look at our bench, like Obi Toppin, I'm not exactly sure why he's not playing more minutes, because Randall played 42 minutes, so back-to-back 40-plus minute games. So why don't we lower Randall's minutes? Even though I know he's leading the January in rebounding and he's playing great, but we should definitely lower his minutes, give Obi more. And in terms of Brunson playing 43, Grimes playing 40, RJ played 49 minutes, I mean, that's just typical coach tip thing to do. It's not going to work. It might get us to the playoffs, but we're going to lose in the first round. So yeah, we've got Rose, McBride, and in terms of that, that's all I have to say about the actual game and I guess just the performance. But there is something else that I want to talk about, and I'm going to start off with Cam Reddish. So apparently the Knicks, their trade talks are intensifying with Cam Reddish. You have the Bucks, the Mavs, and the Lakers who are in pursuit. Now the Knicks are looking for a second-round draft compensation, and it looks like they want Reggie Bullock to New York if they trade him to Dallas. This doesn't make sense to me because Cam Reddish is in his early 20s. He's like 6'9" with a long wingspan. He can shoot threes. He can play defense. I'm not entirely sure why we're going to trade him for a second, because a second is useless. Maybe you magically are able to find someone in the second round, but I don't think you find someone in the second round with more potential or even just better than Cam Reddish. you can see that all contenders want him, right? It's not rebuilding teams that are like, let's bring in Cam Reddish and see if he can get up to his potential. No, it's the Mavs, Bucks, and Lakers. It's three teams trying to win a championship. So why would the Knicks do this, honestly, when they can play him? Because Cam has a role for us. Like, unless Cam is saying that I don't want to be a 3-and-D player, I want to be a starter, I want to be a star and get up, 15 shots at night, then yeah, like, you might as well just trade him. But I don't think Cam is that type of guy. He definitely was early on in his career, but we've seen him play his role. He's very good at attacking the basket. He's good at stretching the floor, and he's young too. He defends, which is something that I know Coach Tip emphasizes. So that's stupid to me. There's no reason we should trade Cam. I'd rather honestly keep him at the bench and just long term see if there's something. Maybe I don't even know. It seems pointless just to keep him at the end of the bench and not play him. But at the same time, like I don't know if I would trade him for a second rounder, yet alone Reggie Bullock. Like I like Reggie because he can defend and he can shoot threes and stuff. But if you're telling me that Reggie Bullock is he just doesn't have he doesn't provide what Cam does. Like he might right now, but for the future when the Knicks should be prioritizing getting younger, let's look at how old is Reggie Bullock. I don't think he's like over 30 or anything like that, but let me look that up. He's 30. Okay, I was wrong. He's 30. Yeah, like, bro, he's 31. We're going to trade Cam Reddish for a 31-year-old. I mean, Reggie Bullock the other night played like 30 or 34 minutes or something and didn't even score. It might have been a couple of nights ago. Like I said, I've been traveling, but yeah, I'm good, bro. And I'm going to end the video on this. So the New York Knicks are probably not going to make any big trades because I saw that OG Anunoby is going for a DeJounte Murray type of price. Now, I know one of you commented that there's no way we're getting OG. He's going to go for probably something similar to what Murray did. I mean, and I was like, bro, come on, man. DeJounte Murray, he led the Spurs to the play-in. He was an all-star. This is OG. He was right. Look, he was right. Now, I'm not even gonna say I was right. I mean, I was blatantly wrong. Like he was the one that told me that. If he's watching this, shout out to him. I doubt it, but thought I'd just point that out. Two more things and then I'll end it. So it looks like Jakob Poeltl's going for 2 first-round picks. He's in his mid-20s, right? I mean, the Celtics and Raptors are interested. That's something to look out for because if he ends up going to a team in our division, a team that we might have to play in the playoffs, that's not exactly ideal that they'd have Jakob Poeltl. I'm just pointing that out there. I'm not like afraid of him or anything, but again, those are 2 East teams that are interested. And then the last thing is Emmanuel Quickley. I saw an article a couple of days talking about how the Knicks were hesitant to trade Quickley. Their asking range for Quickley is probably, at least in my opinion, a late first. That's what makes most sense. Seems like other people were agreeing. Why would we trade Quickley for a late first? We need Quickley, right? It's not only do we need Quickley, he's a good player. He defends, he rebounds, he knocks down threes. He's not afraid of that moment. Late in games, he can, with his speed, he can quickly just burst to the rim because you have to guard his 3, and then when you come up, he can go right by you and go to the free throw line. Like he did that against Toronto. Trading him in Quickley would be absolutely blasphemous. It should not even be considered. And don't get me wrong, like the current Knicks roster, let's just as it stands right now, the current Knicks roster, I do believe that we're in a good spot, but not a great spot. A great spot would be us like actually going out and making a big trade, like a Zach LaVine or an OG Anunoby. But again, if it's going to cost us a bag, if it's going to cost us 4 first-round picks for OG and maybe a couple of players, like no, just keep the team we have and try to hit on these picks. Don't forget, the Knicks can always trade up. The Knicks have a ton of picks. They also have players, so if there's a prospect we really like at draft night, we can go up and get him. So let's just do that. Like I said, I mean, we'll make the playoffs. I don't really think we're going far at all because we don't have that go-to score at the end of games, and not to mention we also don't have, we have starters playing too many minutes. But it's your boy Nick's Daily Man. This is the first video I've made since I moved. So I left Saturday morning at 5 a.m. and it's currently Wednesday afternoon when I'm recording this. So this is the only video I've really made. Well, in the apartment at least. I made like 2 videos in the motels, but appreciate you guys for the love, man. I'll see you.